Today we're going to be showcasing one of the best shotguns in the game. And with this build, it makes it even more unfair. These rogue agents had no chance. I was completing a level 4 heroic control point, and then a convoy ended up joining the fight. And as soon as I finished that, guess what happened? These rogue agents came out of this door right in front of me. And usually I would be scared. But look what happens. They had no chance. I'm talking about no chance. This rogue agent couldn't even move. And he was dead before he even got a shot off. His buddy tried to do the same thing. His rolling around really didn't do anything for him. He just caught a bunch of bullets to the head. And that's why I tell you, this weapon is just so unfair. And with the right build, it even gets more impressive. So let's dive into the build, and we'll definitely show you some more gameplay of this heroic control point and how easy it was to take over. So for the specialization, we are going to be running with the gunner class, probably one of my favorite, and there are a lot of benefits for running this one, so that's why I chose this one. For the weapon, yes, we're running the Scorpio. If you look at the build, we're running 1.3 million armor. We have 930,000 damage on this gun. Now, the reason why we love this gun is because of the way it works and the ability for it to stack poison, disorient, shock, and even give 20% damage to enemies. That's really good, and that's why this weapon is so powerful, and that's why you guys saw those rogue agents not being able to move because they were shocked, and me just being able to mow them down because I can put out enough damage with this build, and I definitely have survivability. If you guys haven't got one of these, I recommend farming for it. Try farming the summit, put shotguns, and hopefully you guys get a lucky drop. Now, this build is all around the Hunter's Fury, so we'll get through this pretty quick because you guys saw one of my Hunter's Fury builds before. But with the shotgun build, you have to change out the chest and backpack. So it's not going to be exactly like the Dark Winter, and we're running a little bit more armor than the Dark Winter build. Now remember, if you guys didn't watch that, Hunter's Fury gives you 15% shotgun damage and SMG damage. It also gives us 20% armor on kill. With the gunner class, we have 30%, and then we have 100% health on kill with this build. Now, Apex Predator, remember, within 15 meters, we get a debuff amplifying our weapon damage towards them by 20%, and we can additionally amplify this by another 25% for every kill. So it actually gets really, really strong. Now, the way I have this one set up is I have armor, crit hit chance, and then a crit hit damage mod. For our second piece of hunters, we are running the holster, we have armor and critical hit damage. For our third piece of hunters, we have the knee pads, we have weapon damage and critical hit damage. And our fourth piece of hunters, we have weapon damage and critical hit damage. For the backpack, we are running the Badger Tough backpack, and the reason why is this gives us 10% shotgun damage. Now, this one actually rolled really good for me, so I don't even know what to roll on here. We get armor, we have armor regen, headshot damage, and critical hit chance. I'm thinking about rotating that headshot damage out for critical hit damage, and then just leaving the armor regeneration there. Now, we do have Adrenaline Rush, which whenever you're within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Now, this can stack up to 3 times, so that's 60% bonus armor at 1.3 million armor. So you guys see, that bonus armor really gives us the survivability we need, especially if we have 3 enemies shooting at us. And as you guys saw earlier in the clip when I was taking down this final boss, and then I started taking out the enemies who came out from the convoy, and then those hunters decided to try to surprise me, they all started shooting at me. And look at the chunk of armor I got. It really just so much armor there that even if they're shooting at me, plus with the Crusader shield, they barely even touch me. And it gives you that survivability you need, especially when you have a lot of enemies shooting you at once. So that's why I really like Adrenaline Rush on a lot of tanky DPS builds. As you guys are seeing right here, look, we almost kept up our armor the whole time. And the reason why Adrenaline Rush is actually really good and really effective on this build is because of our chest piece. Because Adrenaline Rush allows us to keep that bonus armor, and what our chest pieces allows us to do is gives us 35% amplified damage, because we have Intimidate on here. While you have bonus armor, you amplify total weapon damage of 35% to enemies within 10 meters. Now, we do have a chest piece because we do want the extra critical hit chance from the one piece. It's 10% critical hit chance, and that allows our Scorpio to hit the most amount of crits while blasting them down with that insane amount of damage. Now, we have weapon damage, critical hit chance on here, and then we have a critical hit chance mod. Now, if I was able to roll that critical hit damage on the backpack, that'd be additional 12% critical hit damage on this build. And if I got a crit hit chance where that armor regen was, then we could take off this critical hit chance mod here and technically add another 24% critical hit damage on this build. As you see, we have 52% critical hit chance. We have 113% critical hit damage. You could add 24% critical damage on this build, hit even harder. We have 75% headshot damage and 12% armor damage. Now we do have that 30% reload speed, 20% accuracy, 30% stability, plus we have that 30% armor on kill. Now, if that's not enough stats for you, I don't know what else you need. Now for the skills, I am running the Crusader Shield, and this has around 3.4 million health. Now, for my secondary, you can either run the Reviver Hive. I'm a little bit more aggressive, so I want an offensive skill, and I run something like the Striker Drone because I don't think I'm gonna die with this build. At 1.3 million armor, it gives me the ability to run a Striker Drone. But if you feel that you might die, well, put that Reviver Hive and you'll be perfectly fine. And I know some of you might ask, well, what should I put for my secondary? I'm running SMG. You already get that 15% SMG damage, and SMGs tend to hit really hard. So any SMG will actually do. Your main focus is going to be using the Scorpio, but if you run out of ammo like I did, swap to that SMG, knock out the enemies, and you'll definitely be able to drop them pretty quick. And even at 1.3 million armor, you won't have any trouble on heroic. So if you have any questions on this build, if you guys are still struggling on getting this weapon, remember there's a lot of different places you guys can select to get this. I really found the easiest way to get any exotic in the game is by taking a chance and getting those exotic caches, because every single exotic can drop in there. And even if you put legendary on the summit and you put shotgun as targeted loot, you still have a chance that you might not get this shotgun. So keep grinding for it, and if you guys already have it, I recommend building around it because this thing is a beauty. And I'm starting to love Hunter's Fury again. I used to use it a lot when it first came out. I still think it's one of the easiest builds to put together in the Division 2 for the fact that I think green sets are easy to farm because you only have 2 rolls. So getting those rolls tend to drop a lot. And a lot of times you can buy these at the vendor and they'll have pretty decent rolls. So once you get yourself a 4-piece that's not the chest piece or backpack, the hardest part is really going to be farming the backpack or chest piece, which you can swap those 2 pieces. One last request is, if you guys have any suggestions on any type of video you would like to see on this channel, let me know. I'm definitely always looking for good ideas and good things I can teach you guys. So if you have any questions, suggestions, comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one. Nothing But Skills is out.